the evening program.
Are you hearing me?
Thank you. We all feel a rough about. Yes, of course. I'm trying to get on and smooth start. This is the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, local 26, woman of Islam. Yes. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm here with you. Are you hearing me?
Ca-
Are you hearing me, hostess? Are you hearing me, hostess? Hostess, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Can you give us a little prayer while I try to get another
You want me
device?
to
We want to open
you
with
want
a
me to do a
prayer.
little prayer?
Yes, please.
Okay. Almighty Father, creator of all things, God of all God, the kings of all kings, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, the Father of the risen Christ, we ask you to direct our meditation, bless us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, guide us and protect us from all harms and danger, and be the
Oh,
head of this show. We ask in the mighty name of Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Lord, this day with himself, his
this went off
personality
right.
of his imperial majesty, Empire, King Celestial. Jah, Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Bless. Blessed love. Blessed love. Blessed love. Them not, it's like some the connection gone, because them not here.
We give thanks unto the Almighty for this evening, and we thank for this right opening us in prayer. We want to have a wonderful show this evening, and a little technical difficulties, but we're going to get it all situated. This is Sadi Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. Uh, okay. Are you hearing me, Shiloh?
Yes, I'm here with you.
Okay, director, can you play some music? Pray. Sing, please. I cannot hear. This is coming off really, really rocky and for this evening.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wait, so the engineer, please play some music. Oh, you want some live music? Let Jah arise and all his enemies be scattered. Let them also let 18 flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. And one melted before the fire. So the wicked person present of the most high, but the righteous be glad and exceeding joy. Sing, yes I. We give thanks and praise and move our stumbling block out of my life. Exhibit, Kadamawi, yeah. Nikos I, Kush I. Blessed love. Blessed love, blessed love. Are you hearing me? I don't hear. Blessed love. We are cut and clear with Psalm 68. That's all right. And all then we scatter out to the 18 feet for him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away as wax melted before the fire, so the wicked person, the prince of the most high. Jah Rastafari. Move our stumbling block out of Rastafari, and I way, and cut and clear all demons and satanic spirit out of iron knife ways. Cause iron knife to have a righteous meditation and righteous meds. To teach thy people and lead thy people the right way, or almost I, divine Father. Yeah.
Yeah. We mash down all obstacles in iron low places.
Yeah.
Near or far, above and below.
All obstacles
Visible and
move out of
invisible.
iron highway, near and far.
Above and
High
below.
and low, above and below,
Visible and invisible.
visible and invisible. Yes,
That's
I.
right.
Yeah, are you hearing me, hostess?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Can you hear me? I'm trying to get you with the next device.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Well, you could go ahead. You could kick off the topic since I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I know we are live and it's so much for a rough and bumpy start. I know you have entered the studio. Thank you so much for helping me in prayer.
Yeah,
Charlie, I entered another device as well. If you can also let me and I'll be see if that can work. But if you're hearing me now, I'm really
yeah, I'm hearing.
happy for that.
I'm hearing you.
I pick up our show. It's a kind of really tight topic. I want to give the Almighty thanks and praise for one more day of spared life and tender mercies, one more day for bringing us alive on the side of tongue. And we ask that the angels guide us and direct us for such a rough and bumpy start of a topic that I really want to bring. And I Hope my studio audience and my other listening audience are here as well to feel happy to join the topic. Charlie, if you can hear me, I'm on another device. If you can bring me in so I can use that one as well. So we give
We
thanks.
don't have another device showing up in the studio, but you're coming through just fine right now. So we don't. We only see
Okay,
one
wonderful.
device for you.
Just maintain
All
it.
right. Thank you so very much. And at this evening, our topic is really hot. We want to talk about the news, the things that happen in the news. What we do, we examine the things that are under the rug, we take it out, and we sometimes put it back. So now, we got a new rug because since, we've been getting sales and China has opened their doors into designer goods that are cheap, we got ourselves a new rug. So we are going to pull some things from under the rug. Our topic being the Pope is unalive or is he? And we are looking also at the fact that the tariffs that are thrown at us, or rather thrown at China, which was great in terms of 145% tariff. Let's see how that did backfire. So those are two of the topics we are discussing. Often we discuss other things in the news. However, this evening we've seen other things in the news as well. I was particularly looking at what is happening in Africa since we are the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, and particularly right now, Africa is really high up in the news, high up in the spiritual realm. And there's one man named Ibrahim Traore that the West seem to be quite troubled by. This is going to be a little part of our topic we're going to touch on also, seeing it was a little part of the news that grabbed my attention, but has been so profound that this man has done 21 or 22 or the numbers climb of the assassinations plot against them. But now Africa is not taking it anymore. They really have had enough. And on the 30th of April, Africa is hitting the streets, marching and protests, and mainly saying, leave Ibrahim Traore alone. So the world is watching because we have seen many great leaders that fell. And we know just in South Africa what happened even with the enslavement and our great leader Nelson Mandela. So we have seen leaders like Thomas Sankara as well, and so many other greats that we could call, Gaddafi, we call so many greats. What we notice, everybody that comes by in Africa to help Africa, to develop Africa and to push Africa forward becomes a threat to the West and their life is taken. But this time it's different. It's a shift and a lot of things are shifting. So therefore, we look towards the fact that if so much things are shifting, where do we go next? What do we go? What do we do? The West somehow is sliding apart, and we are seeing it. We are paying attention. The world is watching on. We are seeing what is happening with the tariffs. These things has come to pass and must be. Let's look at the tariffs, for example. The tariffs that Mr. Trump executive order he passed, it seemed to be a case where this thing has backfired. Backfired in such a way that China has now stated that they are no longer doing business with Boeing. They have put a ban on Boeing jets, which will over 20 period, which will amount to 8,800 and something, almost close to 9,000. You're looking over the period of time, 1.6 million people being unemployed. So this stroke of a pen has caused so many people their lives, their households have been damaged, and their very livelihood has been shattered in terms of the middle class is slowly disappearing, it's disintegrating, and it is coming almost into poverty or even some worse stages because we would see cases of suicide increasing. Some people are unable to deal with certain hardships that they have never been accustomed to. And these hardships now are forced on people, and they have to now deal with such situations that is given under the Make America Great Again. With our platform, Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, we do the business of Africa. Ethiopia being the name of the whole continent at one time, and we are the Ethiopians of the world, we the black people of the world. Since everything has shifted, we have started to mind our own business. We are no longer marching in large crowds if it doesn't concern us, because the new generation that's upon the earth is not our grandparents. They are telling you one time, it does not make sense, we're not going to do it. They decided to sit down at many marches, and that is a silent sign of defiance. We are no longer involved in what is going on as per se government and authority and their foolishness, because it does not serve us any good in any way. So a lot of young people have, I watch on the TikTok, decided what is going on is none of our business. So we see, and we are talking about the tariffs. Look what has happened. Look what Mr. Trump has brought to the table. Look how the world is shifting. We need not worry too much about what is going on in the regular world, because these are design plans that has been instituted by man and must take place. They have an agenda. They have people placed for a certain time and period, and the presidency itself, a very powerful seat, is orchestrated as well. So we cannot be up in arms about this, that, and the third. What we need to do, as we have observed the shift, is observe our spiritual being. In our few conversations, we have spoken about spiritual awareness and the importance of your spiritual life, the importance of spiritual applications into your regular life. So here we are, not wondering too much about what Mr. Trump is doing, but what are we doing? Because the place, the time has changed. Everything has really changed, as we often say. The matrix has changed. The game has been rigged. And a lot of people now are feeling quite different. Just to throw on the topic of difference, I have noticed now a lot of people is telling you that they are feeling a strangeness about them. They don't want to go outside. They don't want to stay inside. They don't even know what to do themselves. They are not keeping too much friends. They are mostly staying by themselves. And they're wondering and feeling that something is in the air, something is about to happen. This is the remark of a lot of people. Well, I should say, I'm hearing from the younger people. I'm not too sure how the older folks are thinking, but this is something that is happening right now. People are very confused as to what is going on in the atmosphere. There is, in fact, something going on in the atmosphere. Something is going on, and a lot of things are going off. But you have to be spiritually connected within those vibrations to even understand, overstand, or understand what is going on. So the confusion that is felt is going to be felt among many, many people because of not having that spiritual groundation. You're up in air as to what is really happening. So a lot of emotions are going to be flying left, right, and center. People are going to be very troubled about certain things because explanations are not there to be given. Things are happening really fast, fast and furious, and people are still wondering what's happening. So we're here. I have the big topic for the evening, which is the Pope. We know the Pope, there was a passing of the Pope, and also there was a burial, and there were certain ceremonies. I was hoping my other studio guests will join in as well. Certain other people would like to talk about this topic. So I was delaying a little bit to give the studio time to fill in with some people who did promise to come by because they wanted to weigh in on this topic as well. But we are live and we are live. This is Sadi Gomez of the Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated coming to you live on this wonderful Sunday evening. You know what we do on this side of town? We examine the news, we take it from under the rug, what is happening, and we simply put it back. The wonderful studio audience are often here to fill in. They are knowledgeable. They weigh in on subjects. And of course, for the million viewers out there, hi to my viewers. We are happy for all who can join us. And I want to just greet my sister Donna Gomez. I have a lot of sisters, so I should just call their names out before the jealousy start. I want to greet each and every one for us. So here we are, a little bit in our subject matter. We are discussing what happened concerning the Pope. There was a burial and there was a ceremony. But in our prior conversations, what we had spoken about, the Pope was sick and the Pope had these screams going on stating that demons he saw and they were after him. But we are here live, so who want to join us in later on, we'll always get back to certain things. But we are discussing the Pope ceremony. The Pope had a ceremony, and I'm reporting from the Catholics. They said it was not Catholic. Whatever they mean by that, two big Catholic people weigh in, and they said the funeral ceremony was quite occultic. I do not go to Catholic churches to see how ceremonies are done, especially with the lane of how they did it, but this remark was made. However, we know a frail man, 88 years old, he passed, or did he? Which report are we going to believe? Many things are often said, but we are warned about believing reports. Stories has three sides, which would be my side, your side, and the truth. Every story has three. So we look at this and we're looking at it now because we're watching in different dimensions. Quite frankly, there was a ritual. The Catholic Church, there was a ritual. If these things are done in the black churches, this is called voodoo and obeah. But here we are watching these things and we are seeing it as ritual and ceremony. Okay, it's a high man, a man of the cloth. We know there is a God. Surely we have to serve him and we have to come before the reverence of God. And it is also remarked that no one is saved except through his son. And we know there's one way, the way, the truth, and the light. But we are watching the Catholic Church, and I watched to see the Pope's last request, and I paid attention particularly. And he made a lot of acknowledgement to Mother Mary. Now, nothing is wrong with Mother Mary. I love Mother Mary. But it's only one can save us. And we ought not to know what is going on with different things if we cannot acknowledge the fact that there's only one that can save us. So we are watching the ceremony and okay. I think I'm back now. I see sometimes I slip off, but I think I am right back now. I'm trying to time myself about when I slip off or not. Is it Dushira here with us? Dushira, are you here with us? Someone has joined us in the studio. Okay, so as that we were speaking, we concerning the burial of the Pope. Now it has been for all historical times. Every time a Pope passes, he would go into the catacombs. This body will then be preserved and wrapped and go into the catacombs. And over the history of time, no Pope has been buried. This particular Pope in this particular ceremony was buried on Saturday. Also quite unusual, seeing that Saturday has never been a time for burial in the history of burial of any pope. So we are watching of the unusual factors. Also, it is stated that this pope is going to be buried, and in 3 days he's going to be taken out of the earth and I guess put in the catacombs with the others to lay, I imagine. But we are following the story quite closely because we take things from under the mat and we examine it and we put it back. So we are just examining this ritualistic ceremony that's taking place, and we are paying a lot of attention because everything within ceremony has a meaning. Now we know there's only one we can serve, one God, one Father. Anything else is blasphemy. The Catholic Church has made no secret in who they serve when we watch carefully. We see the throwing up of signs, we see many different variations of worship that is not of God. But we go along with it, some of us, and the Catholic Church is a large population, and they have those great believers. They have been losing numbers for over some years with a lot of scandal, but all the same, they're great in number, and it's a big worship for many people who consider this Pope to be Father. But for a lot of other people, because we bring it real on the side, they know him just to be the Antichrist. And this is something that we are coming to the end time, and we are going to examine what is going on, what is going off within the realms of the spirit. We are looking here within the ceremony, and we have seen so many pictures of the Baphomet. And for those of us who know that dark side, we know there are sides of evil. Within the world, for my dear listeners, we have good and we have evil. And good triumph over evil because the Father sits on his throne, is still in charge. But for most part, what we see before us is so much evil, and there's so many signs of things hidden in plain sight. So we are here, we are watching, and we are looking on at the various rituals that took place. And remarkably so, the Pope was up and about on Easter Monday, speaking and greeting heads of state. I think he even spoke to the vice president of the USA, Vance. I saw it came up just in the picture. And the next day, he had expired. Now, there are a few people who don't sit still with information, as I said. Which report are you going to believe? But my cronies and my deep divers, they like to go in certain ways, and they're throwing things at you, and they say, well, there's some induced sleeps that can last for a little while, so we'll see if it pops up and what happens. But it's very mysterious about what is going to happen as we come closer to the end of time. Coming closer to the end of time, we are seeing that this very passing marks end of time. It marks an end of time because the Roman Catholic Church now have to pick a new leader. For many years, we have seen we are picking up a new leader, the slant it has taken. But now we are watching that the fact that they're up against two black bishops from Africa, who I believe is next in line for the papacy, and we are wondering what they're going to do. Because now, is the Catholic Church going to be fathered by a black leader? So we see the end of one era and the beginning of a new, which is quite interesting because we want to know what the Catholic Church is going to do and what decision they're going to make. However, this Pope has been chosen for some last day ceremony into some deep, dark awakening in terms of the end time, where the mark of the beast is going to be introduced because it's coming right out of that house. So we see that this Pope has passed, and we are wondering who the job is going to be handed to because the job must go on. The last days, scripture is true, prophecy must be fulfilled, and the end time calling must be done. We are here with our guests. We are here with our first vice. First vice, I know your camera seems to be shifty all over the place. I don't know what's happening with you tonight. But if you can prop it up, I'm trying to prop up mine. I'm trying to say a prayer, keep in gear. But we have this before us. So would you like to give us a little comment first, vice, on what's happening? First vice, you can hear us. You can give us a comment on the evening conversation. Okay, I think first vice is muted, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can
Yeah.
hear you now. Come through and give us a bit of conversation.
Well, pertaining to the Pope, I will be very brief. Um, the Pope and the puppetry and all those guys, they will have to give account to my father when he comes. You understand? When the Almighty appear, they will have to give account. But you know why? They are the men with all these powers, right? And they don't try to stop the war and the innocent killing. So they will have to answer to the Almighty for that. Seems of they are the ones who say they have all the powers. So if you have all the powers and see murderation and wickedness is going on and don't stop it, just like if the watchman see the danger coming and does not alert the people, the judgment will be on the watchman heads. So they are the one who running down the power of the earth, and they have no power to stop innocent children and people from dying. Anyway, that's my take on that side. But on the African, I want to talk about
Sorry.
Tory. Yes, yes. What is happening is the Bible says Ethiopia will soon stretch out her hands unto God. We, the black nation, has gotten a beating because of disobedience and straying. We stray from our ancestral righteous tradition and stray into the demons. I wouldn't even bother say white, but demons and serpent culture. So that's what caused us our downfall. And right now, we are at the end of our sentence. So what is happening now is we are getting rid of the enemy out of our born land. These people are so brave to come into the lion's den, try to destroy the lion people, try to destroy our land with all kind of disease, AIDS and Ebola, this chicken gunya, and all these things. Digging out our diamond, digging out our golds and our rubies, and still don't fear the African people. Imagine, you can come into my place trying to take everything from me, and now you expect me to just stand up and don't defend myself. God has risen up his people to defend their place. And anyhow, any interference from any one out of the world, they will see what God can do. And they will see the wrath side of the Almighty. You understand? Because it's mother nature we have, We don't have no gun, we don't have no bomb, we don't have no nuclear. We don't even have an army to defend Africa. But we have God and mother nature. And when mother nature get wild, there is no place no one can hide. Blessed love, respect, and honor. I heal here.
We thank you so very much for your input. To think about it, Africa don't even have an army. But as we speak, Abraham Traore decided he's going to turn things around because that last attempt brought Africa almost to her knees. So Africa now they have decided to get military strength. This is something I think a week ago, and it's going to be put in place. So they're going to have their military strengthened because Africa has realized they have depended on the West. And when something happens, as I saw in one report, and the West is given the story, it takes about 48 hours before help arrive as far as military strength. So therefore, Africa is going to be self-sufficient with her army, which is something that she had put aside for a long while. As you said, we're such a loving people, but we are forced now to defend ours. It's been coming whereby in the night truckloads are leaving with gold, diamonds, uranium for years, years. And it was just okay because the people were so subservient and so nice and so kind. But that was our grandmothers. You don't want to play with these 20 something right now because they're taken to the street on April 30th. So when you see that outpouring of African youths as millions, billions, they say they're not taking it anymore. Leave Ibrahim Traore alone. So this is where we are, and we would like to welcome our other guest, our big brother. He often comes to our show. We wonder how you're settling in. Welcome.
Settling in, my sisters, and give thanks to all that are there.
Welcome, brother.
You know,
Welcome. Welcome, brother.
and I've been here. This is my third week here. We're still settling in, and it's peaceful out here. It's nice. Some opportunities have come up. I'm not ready to take advantage of them right now. Wait till everything comes through. But bless you all, and I am still and will always be a member of Local 26.
Well, definitely because you're a keeper, Ronnie. Anybody ever told you that?
not recently, dear. Not recently.
Okay, so you're not going anywhere. But we like for you. You heard our subject. But
Yes, yes,
so we want you to weigh in because we like our intelligent studio audience to often give us a little bit of how they feel. We learn a lot from each other. So we give
yes,
you the now.
yes. Well, we have to look and see the um, the duplicity of what's going on there and has been for a long time, and here as well. You know, um, there is not that much difference on what these people have done and continue to try to do. We started fighting in the '60s, and so on for human rights and civil rights, which is right now what they're trying to take away. But I'm very pleased for my brother Ibrahim Traore and his other associates in Mali, and Namibia, and countries surrounding that because they're saying that we're not going to take anymore. And we've been saying that and fighting for them as well as fighting for ourselves, since the '50s and '60s. So I'm glad that this is happening and they're not taking it anymore. The first thing is that they're able to feed themselves.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
And this is where we have to get back to feeding ourselves. With all the things that are going on, in this country about food and so on. I happen to be up here in Syracuse where there's a lot of organic gardening, and so on. I'm going to start one myself. I have enough land and so on. But we got to remember that there and understand that there's no difference between here and there. And even with the immigrant population, which they're complaining about, we're not citizens. We're just long-standing immigrants, and they can get rid of us anytime they want. They're going to find it's going to be more difficult to do that with the laws that are in place. And even though they're trying to throw these laws out, what are they going to do to feed themselves? They can't do anything without us, and that's the whole. We have to really understand that we needed to overstand that a long time ago. And some of our elder brothers, my elder brothers and sisters, have understood that a while, but a lot of us have not been listening, you know, and afraid to make a choice to go right or go left, into this thing. So the fight continues, and will continue because we don't give up. We don't give up. We are not a weak people. We may be misled or miseducated or what have you, but the light is shining. Truth only shines in the dark. You know, and so and so we're good. It's not in my time. But whatever I can do to help this happen, I'm always in. I have been all my life.
Well, that's so wonderful, Ronnie. But there's something that as you speak, and I can help, but it resonated in my heart as I saw it earlier on. That executive order was made that in the Smithsonian Museum of African History, a lot
Yes.
of arts has been removed. Give me a little bit of that, Ronnie.
Yeah, I was there and I wasn't able to get in, but I know that my family is in that museum, and so on. Um, this is another thing that we have to stop doing, waiting for somebody else to recognize us, and help us. There's no reason for that museum or any other museum pertaining to us, wherever we are over the world, to be closed because of lack of funding from the man that has been wanting to eliminate us for all this time. Okay. And we have to understand that as well. $5, $10, $15, 50 cents, whatever we have to save that. And has to be a warrior move, because that's what we are. We are warriors first. And so on. There's not a leader. We are all leaders. This is what they're afraid of. It's easy to take out one person, one man, one woman, like they've been doing, and our energy wanes. But if we're all looking at the same thing, seeing the same thing, I bless these children that are on YouTube, internet, and so on. They are magnificent. Whether you
Oh,
want to believe or not, they are telling the truth, even if it's a little misled. At least we're listening. They're listening. And that's the most important part.
and they're not afraid. They're not afraid to express themselves because I was seeing certain, as you spoke about the children, Africa's big population is mostly young people or
Yes,
children. The
yes,
majority. And when you hear those voices and the power behind those voices, you know that a change has come because they are not afraid and they're telling you, you are not coming to my land to take it. You're not
yes,
coming because this is what April 30th is all about.
yes,
So this is going to be magnificent to be around the world where now we know we don't depend on the journalists, but everybody has
yes,
yourself. So we're going to see the magnitude and the greatness of the youth of Africa. They say they are not taking it anymore. And I was like, wow. So
yes,
here is
yes.
going to
Well, I
And,
be
hope
and,
that's
and
right.
excuse me just for 1 minute. Uh, the intellect, the creativity that I have seen coming out of Mother Akebulan in the past 2 or 3 years, where in the United States and Great Britain and all of them want to actually assassinate these kids who are 16, 17, 18, 19 years old and creating cars that run on water. I mean, that's nothing new. Yeah, that's what's happening in the 15th century. These kids don't even have a high school education, or what we think is a high school education, or run cars that run on the air. You know, there are so many things, and I see it. I see the ancestors, and I see my ancestors that came here that invented the shoe latching machine. All right, the automobile company was the Thompson Motors. It was at the same time as Ford. You know, and then the central air conditioning system, the 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 gas mask, the gas inhalator, a whole host of things. This was in us when we got here. And it's only proving itself more because what's at home, you're doing it again. And I'm so proud.
That's good. Charlie, do you want to weigh in on our conversation?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about just real quick about Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traore and what the real problem is. The real problem is that the West, specifically America,
Yes.
France, and Great Britain, is appalled at the fact that this young black man has the
Yes.
audacity,
Yes.
the balls to say he don't need them.
Yes.
Get out. All right. We don't want your money. We don't want your gold. We don't want you to refine nothing. You're gonna refine something, you're gonna refine it right here. And we're not scared. We're not backing down. We showed up today to die.
Yes.
So you will not come to our land and just lay it out. Now, here's what he's done that the others have not done. He's created his own coalition.
Yes.
He got China on his side. He
Yes.
got Russia on his side.
Turkey.
It's a wrap. He's like, I wish you would come over here.
I dare you.
I dare you. He's like Carmelo Anthony. Put your hands on me and see what happened.
Yes.
Touch me
Yes.
and see what happened.
What kind of basketball player? That brother that says when he tries to dunk on him, he says no, 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 no. That African brother.
Listen, they got tanks now. They got farming and agricultural equipment.
Yes.
They plan on building 5 new miles of road every day as far as the infrastructure is concerned in Burkina Faso. There has been at least 18 solidified attempts on his life. Okay.
Yes.
They cannot have that. We cannot have this nigga raising his head up and being a leader, and especially not calling other people together. So now here's what we got to do. We got to pull the playbook out. We got to start trying to paint a negative narrative about him. All right? Because this is what they do. They did the same goddamn thing to Gaddafi.
Yes.
All right? Libya was good. You lived in Libya. You had your own home. You had to pay for. School was free. Hospital was free. You was encouraged. Okay. Education was free. And Gaddafi was about to change Africa and put them on the not the Cougar, another gold coin, another money system that was backed by gold.
And he had 14 tons of gold.
Right. So they was like, there's no way. We cannot let this happen because allowing this to happen is destroying our monetary system. So Gaddafi got to go. And what they're doing with Ibrahim, they're trying to do the same thing.
Yes.
You cannot raise up. You know what it's called? It's called the buck breaking.
Yes.
Right? It's buck breaking. It's a system that they use here in the United States to try to bring down black men once they get to a certain level of status. Okay, like they tried to do with Ali. Ali wouldn't want to fight. Ali wouldn't fight. I ain't going to your army. He said, "Them Viet Cong, they're not my enemy. You my enemy." Okay, so what they tried to do? They tried to break him. How they try to break him? They
his belt away.
Took his belt away. Right, trying to take his title away. Trying to make him bow. That's what they want. They try to make black men bow. The reason why that boy, Ron Robinson, Shakur Sanders did not go in the first round draft pick is because they want to teach him a lesson.
Yes.
And as a black man, you need to be humble. You need to sit down. You need to hold your head down and say, "Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity."
Yes.
Osby's a good football player for you. He ain't doing that. This generation not doing that. That boy's father is Deion Sanders, and he like bump all of that. You good? We that family. We don't need the NFL. The NFL need us. Buck breaking. The same thing they did to Michael Jackson. The same thing they did to Bill Cosby. All right. Who are you? The nerve of you to think you could buy NBC?
Yes.
So then they set out to start to destroy. So this is what they're trying to do now. And as always, they have those fake ass Uncle Toms come up on TV.
Lashley.
Okay, nationally, trying to tell somebody now that, and here's the stupidest argument. He got gold he using to protect himself. Excuse me, but bitch, it's been 18 attacks on the man's life.
Of course, what am a man to do?
What are you supposed to do?
And that general.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Tom behind. We need to get rid of him.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
We better wake up and realize what's going on.
Oh, yes.
Because it ain't a joke. It ain't even funny no more. They trying to find ways to bring this directly into our house. We already got friends that we've known, people that we've known that's been citizens since we've known them, and they've moved them out of the country. There's no laws. We have lawlessness at the top of the ladder in this country.
Yes. Yes.
So we can sit around and pray and hope everything will be all right. Okay, it ain't gonna happen like that. The Bible, I mean, say faith without works is dead. You got to get up. You got to do something. You got to make something happen. We cannot sit around and let them try to paint this fake news, this fake narrative about Ibrahim Traore.
Yes.
We've seen what the man has done. We've seen what he's done. We've seen what he's built. We've seen the energy in the country. We've seen how happy the people are. We've seen those that are next to him. And you're going to go and say that they're not happy? They look pretty damn happy to me. So now what you going to do? We know how the CIA work. Y'all going to hire some folk. You're going to give them some money. You're going to give them a couple of guns so you can start some scrimmages. Start some fights that happen, get a couple of people shot, so now you can start putting the newspaper over here in West about Burkina Faso falling apart. They need our help. We're going in to save the people. It's a lie, the same lie that you told about Iraq.
Yep. And using the OAU, who's a bunch of...
Right.
Yeah.
And right now, they got everything. I mean, right now, they got the Department of Justice. Is now a white supremacist organization.
Yes.
Okay. The Supreme Court is a white supremacist organization.
Mother Nature is watching them, man.
They're heading for Libya first. They're heading for Libya again too. Southwest Africa. They're heading for that.
Right.
But they're getting put out of there too.
They still got some pacifiers. They still got some people that's running around following the colonizers over there, like the president and them over there in the Ivory Coast, like other presidents, a couple of other ones I'm thinking is still trying to support the West because they think they need West money and don't realize the strength that they have amongst themselves. But they've been blinded by the lies. They too have been blinded by white supremacy because they believe that these white boys is better.
White man's ice is colder.
Right, white man ice is colder.
They
sound
better leave us alone.
Uncle Ruckus, don't the white folk just make such beautiful foliage?
White man better leave out a black man business alone. Them better leave black people business alone and mind Mother Nature destroy them. Because we have Mother Nature to protect us. And they seem to not realize that. They seem to not realize that.
I mean, listen, this time
Mother
is
Nature is
different.
our army.
This time is different. And I think that
It
I,
is.
I heard Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl say that this time God favors us.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
All
Because
right.
look
Yes.
what happened now,
He's
no?
sending a message.
Yeah,
This
Yes.
we're
time
stepping.
God
Mm-hmm.
has favored us. And we've had a wake-up call since this election.
Yep.
Okay. We saw what this election told us that we by ourselves. 92% of us voted for Kamala Harris. Not necessarily for Democrat, not necessarily for a black person, but for what we understood was the right way to go. And these people just so happen to be of that particular color. As an independent, a proud
In our
independent,
wickedness and corruption are where
I
them
voted
dwell.
for towards the Democrats because I felt like they were going in the right direction.
Stand up Psalm
But
68
afterwards,
and
they
the
let us
whole
see
of
there
them,
wasn't nobody on
whole
our
of them
side but us.
melt. See, them and then corrupted wealth. You see? Hell.
And them no know say true. Well,
Or
I
like,
have I have two artists in the house here with me, you know. So
uh, uh, all right, well, you know the topics. It is a Sunday evening. We're doing our topics, but we do impromptu and spontaneous. So let our artists come forward if they have a fire. Let them come forward. We welcome all artists.
Oh yeah, greetings. Yeah, this is Yata yo. You know,
Yeah,
the
do
dub
your
poet.
welcome.
Yeah, Rastaman dub poet. You see it? Come to
Right.
chant down road.
easy like Sunday
Yeah, here
morning.
looking eye, you know.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
Why
Yeah,
in the
man.
world anybody put chains
What you say?
on
You want it in
me?
acapella?
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Whatever we can do for the evening
Oh,
because we're live.
okay. Yeah, man. But this one is called Africa, you know. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, man. The richest place with the poorest race. Beautiful people with a smile upon them face. Rasta know it is a big disgrace. Jama want you deal with the case. Don't hesitate and not procrastinate. The oppressor them not stop.
Ah, rewind.
Yeah. Pull it.
Pull it like a bullet. Pull it and
The
send it like a
oppressor them
bullet.
not stop intimidate. Have the people still at work like a slave.
Ah,
I never think about give them a raise.
hmm.
I never think about to change up them ways.
Ah,
A full time them fly up the gate.
watch it.
Look how long them have the people await. Rasta know them. Yeah.
Not the red. I say,
Bless
yeah,
up.
man.
Just starting off now, eh?
Yeah, man.
Let's you know, we back to the
Greetings,
evening.
Data. Greetings, Data.
Greetings, beloved.
Selassie, yes, my Lionheart Bridge, over the south. Selassie, man. Love King. Yeah, man. Big up the engineer, everyone in the house, you know. We just see it like Sunday, man, because you see a Sunday thing, you know, and, you know. Why in the world anybody put chains on we? We're not happy when they try to change us. Why? Cause we easy. Why? We easy like Sunday evening. I groove with the crew. Engineer on the data over the Sunday Empress. Watch out, she look sweet now. We easy like Sunday evening while Rastafari. See, let us send some love and blessing here. A terribly
Yeah,
in here, sister. We love
thank
the
you for
program. You will love the
checking out.
program, you know. You will love the program because they are listening thing, cause you know, you don't know, so the ear in tune, you know, we love what they are them say, you know.
Them
Yes,
man, I sign up.
Upful living man and bless up the virgin cause I see him move and things, so you know, me no want to see him face more and thing, but I'm more love and thing, yeah.
all right. Bless and love.
I
Rastafari.
blessed sister, my love. Still I say.
Love.
Them say them easy like Sunday. Say it is.
Ah, so why in the world?
I
Yeah.
like when artists stop by to big up Sadie. One love.
Yes. They stop by to big you up. Bless.
One
I'm
love. Bless her.
but I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Same way. Right
All
there.
right. What else do you want to give us for the evening? Because we're running on a lovely kind of flow. We had a rocky start, but you know, we don't need to rise up stones to praise you, Jah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's what you want.
Bring it on.
Yeah, if that's what you want, that's what you get.
Okay. Rastafari.
I don't wanna have to make you rise wood and stone to praise you, Jah. I don't wanna have to make you rise wood and stone away. I don't wanna have to make you rise wood and stone to praise you, Lord. I don't wanna have to make you rise wood and stone away. Burn out all carnal weaknesses. Burn out all impurities. Only let love come from this heart of mine. Only let truth speak by these lips of mine. I don't want to have to make you rise wood and stone to praise you, Jah. I don't want to have to make you rise wood and stone, no way. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Burn out all carnal weaknesses. Burn out all impurities. Only let love come from this heart of mine. Only let truth speak by these lips of mine. I don't want to have to make you rise wood and stone to praise you, Jah. I don't want to have to make you rise wood and stone, no way. Blessed love, no love, and I expect. Rastafari.
Very well.
Sis, I'll bless.
One of our
Yes,
musicians
Yeah, man,
come
we
back,
understand.
the proud
Rast,
Yeah, man.
of our
Rastafari.
back to fire level. The proud part of our Ethiopian Women Federation Local Number 26. We have various units. That's how our local is set up. Our Woman Auxiliary Unit, which is the unit that brings the radio station, and your host, Sadie Gomez, has the musical unit, and you see being run by the musical director, Peter Shiloh, bringing us music, is doing very, very good so far. And of course, we just heard something from Yatayao, the brother that comes through, and we have a
Terry
poet,
Blaine. Terry Blaine. Terry Blaine.
Terry Blake.
Blaine.
Blame.
Yeah. Terry
Okay,
Blaine. Yes,
Terry
sir.
Blake. Oh, weird.
And they're gonna be signing up with us soon. Okay. Mhm.
All right. So we're looking forward to some things, and we are shining as far as the musical unit is going. We will show a lot more as time go by, but we are planning a concert. We don't want to bring everything out in the open just yet, but a few things has been placed and has been developed. So we don't mind sharing a few things, do we? So some of our artists are now able to be on radio, and the good news will be this radio station I'm reading from the card. I spoke to the brother, and he has 1 million listening. That's his audience. So imagine for our musical unit and those who are with us, they are going to have that sort of exposure. My God, done day. So we want to celebrate that for the musical unit, and we push on, we move on, and they're doing great things. There's also Thursday nights show up for, you know, extra exposure as well. So this is something great for Local 26 moving on, moving up. Federation rising. We're rising like Ibrahim Traore, mashing down things. But as we speak of African Ibrahim Traore, we have to see this is an appointment that this young man has with the Almighty, because he is fearless, totally fearless, and he is not walking alone. Those who have spiritual eyes, you see when the man step out, it is ancestral spirits walking left, right, center, in front, and behind. This man has no need, as this um puppy dog Langley said, taking the bull himself. He is not
Enough.
interested in that. He's interested in people. For a very long time, we have not seen a black man so interested to lay down his life with people, I guess, since the Christ. Because, what manner of man we have seen that has been tested and tried more than 18 times. I think he's on his 22nd bid of assassination assignment. But yet he says, I am not afraid to die. He said, I'm not afraid to die. But he knew when he do, because we all have to, he would have left something. He would be in the history books. Many of us is going to die with nothing happening, but he knew his life shall not be in vain. And in his death, there will be greatness. So we are wondering here, is he worth more alive or dead? So the West is very, very confused what to do with this man. In his living state, he is causing a ruction. He is telling you, I am a steamroller. You want to come? Deal with it. Because the ancestral spirit, and I'm so happy for this man, Ibrahim Traore, may the ancestral spirit of Ogun continue to walk with this man. For those who understand, Ogun is the god of metal. So therefore, know what you're playing with when you're playing with Ibrahim Traore. The man now walk alone. The Orishas are very present with us now. For those of us who have gone through perilous times, we are seeing a new shift. It almost come like, do me something. And as Charlie had said earlier on, when Charlie had mentioned about the kid somehow has a name that is very synonymous with, I guess, a big basketball player, right, Charlie? So we are talking about this kid who said, do me something. And he had to take down that silly white boy who decide, I'm going to today. So Ibrahim Traore is almost like, listen, white boy, you want to come? Come. But if 10 come, I take in one. So nobody is going to take me out of this race, not now. And we have to also be very careful and understanding, as I say, spiritual awareness. We understand things from depth. Ibrahim Traore birth, when he came into this earth, was in the same year of Thomas Sankara's death. And I want
Yes,
to almost on the
yes,
same.
yes.
So who are we playing with? Who are we playing with? We
And my
see
sister
black
just
people have too long gone far from the Almighty. But in black, there's so much power. Before I go back to Ibrahim Traore, let me just drop one on you all that is so comical. I saw on the TV, I had to laugh today. On the TV, they were showing you the marathon races. And they did a trial where they put 20 robots in the race to run. And of course, the robots are metal, they're white. But you know who won the race? The robot was totally in black. I said, even if the black robot win the race, or they understand what's going on, the white robot come third. Actually, silver one come second, but is the black one come first? I laughed. That was so funny. It is
I
even
wish I
robot.
would have seen that.
They paint him black and he get melanin and he start have power. So understand what we are saying here and understand the laws of attraction. Once you're black, it's all right. But it's okay to understand because we are rising and we are rising because we have to. And no one can stop us because we have been through the 400 years of slavery. We were under punishment for disobedience to the Almighty. But we have fallen on our knees and we have cried out to the Almighty and He has restored us. So the Orishas and the ancestral spirits are back happy walking with us because we have put away the strange gods. We have learned. Many young people now is telling you, you can't give them no white, blue-eyed boy and call it Jesus. They're telling you where you're going with that. And they even ask you, much to your own embarrassment. So all you had believed that? Well, I tell my young children, I never believed that, because I'm not falling in line with all the old people. I said, I never believed that. Because when my 28-year-old nephew asked me, say, so you all believe that? I said, not me. I never believed that. He said, because we don't believe that. So imagine that. The time has changed. You cannot now bring all this folly to young black children. They laugh in your face. So we are seeing a case of leave Africa alone. Africa is being guided right now by ancestral spirits. We have entered into a new dispensation. It is a 5D dimension for who has left behind, because the Bible told us, as I had in one conversation stated, two will be lying in a bed, one will be taken and one will be left. Two will be on a rooftop. One will be taken, one will be left. And we try to understand what is this. But what is happening is the state of mind. We have to now ascend into a different state of mind to understand, overstand, and understand the various activities that are being placed upon the earth. Let us not be wary by Mr. Trump and his awkward behavior or somewhat evil behavior as it would seem. It is not of such a state. It is a case we are being given time for preparedness. We have to prepare because we are entering fast and furious into the end time. And particularly why this is happening when we are seeing as if there's an attack on the blacks. No, black people have to wake up and realize who they really are, because the other people, forces that be, know who we are. And really and truly, with all of saying of mass exodus, the mass exodus isn't start yet. The mass exodus is coming, but it is coming not by no force, but by a case where black people is telling you, I am leaving because a shift is coming. I want to say no year and date because I want to make people come back and want to crucify me. But let us look for 2 years when you see Mr. T kind of, when his days are winding down, let us understand that we have to wind up because there will be a race war. And it's just coming out my mouth right now. And I would not bear you false witness at any point. And we have to be prepared. Even I am just watching from April 30th. I'm going to be watching to see what is going to be stirring up. Because when you see the whole screen being painted with melanin dripping all over the place, that could be fearful, because I'm telling you, a million of those running around, oh my goodness, that is the kind of energy the earth is going to have. I thank God for the day, and I wish that He spared my life so I can see these things. Because what power and greatness when you see the whole of Africa marching for one man. That has never happened before. So we are going to be standing in awe as the young people, I'm telling you, and the way they march, I love it. They don't march, 1, 2, 3. Africans march and dance. So there's a party going on. There's a party time, and the ancestors are going to be there to dance with us. Slavery has come to an end. And as much as it was hidden, and they try to pretend it never happened, because if they can erase some of the awful parts of slavery, they want to make us feel like that was no big deal. You didn't get over that yet. No, we have not gotten it over yet, and we will not be getting it over ever. What we are going to do is protect ourselves so that we shall not go back in it again. But as to get over it, no, we're going to remember it every day. And when we see April 30th, we remember that those are the very slaves that were thrown into the ocean that is now running down the streets. Because nigga do dead, I'm telling you, they come back several times. I think I'm on my 9th trip. I'm just telling you right now. But it's my last trip, so I will not be back to torment you all. But all the same, we thank you all for those who have joined us in the audience. It's Sadi Sundays, it's Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated, Local 26, with your host, Sadie Gomez. I thank all my guests who's out there who want to come in and join us. So much promise to come in, but I don't know what's happening. Sometimes the aliens take me. But I see they were taking Shiloh today, but I don't know. I know Ronnie's still here with us. I know Charlie's still here with us. So I'm going to give you a little time to weigh in for something for the evening.
Yes, my sister. There are so many times, and there's so many blessings that we have been given through the years to come to an Ibrahim Tori, Patrice Lumumba, all these people that that were assassinated by the United States and Great Britain. Was built up to this point. And Sankara, I was following him years ago, and he started what Torre is finishing. And
Yes.
when you see the countries that are coming and siding with Tory, and I had to mention Namibia. I was there when they went, and I think it was 1995 when they got their freedom, and they changed their name from Southwest Africa to Namibia, and wind up with a debt that wasn't theirs. Okay, now the sister who is the president or prime minister now of Namibia, she said, "No, y'all get out of here. You're not taking no gold. You're not taking no diamonds. You're not taking anything."
Black power.
Amen.
She said to
Yes, ma'am.
500 American citizens, I think you all
Oh,
need to leave now.
yes,
That's my
yes,
woman.
yes. I'll marry you tomorrow.
I am
Only
just
if you
saying.
refuse me.
We will bring her into the family and we will give her a secure position as the second director.
Hey,
The second director of
amen,
the house.
amen,
But
amen.
we're very happy. We're in a happy place when we come over here, but we also deal with serious issues because the black people are rising. We have to be extremely, extremely careful and strategic as to how we place this new development. We have to know we can't trust anyone. We know it is black and we're going that way. We might lose a few soldiers along the way. All right, but we're moving up. And as we see with fearlessness, how Abraham Traore was able to shape and fashion his very thoughts. And Niger and Mali is also going forward. Uganda is joining in as well. But in the prophecy and in the spiritual realm, it shows that Africa is rising. Africa is going to be the greatest nation as it once was. She is going to be restored to her former glory. And this is something that we should be proud to be alive to witness. And it is a wonderful time in our history that we can see our mother proud that has bared all the sorrow, all the pain, that she can smile once more with her crown of glory upon her head. Now she comes with all her beautiful, intelligent young children. It's it's the youngest nation in the world. It's the most intelligent nation in the world. And I would say it's the healthiest nation in the world. So therefore, with a rise, and as I said, returning also to our Father, which was our fall, our great fall was straying far from the Almighty. So, children of Zion, let us return and praise the Almighty so our way could be clear. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life. But we must know who we serve. And as we speak of serving, we see what has happened upon the earth. Now, there is a lot of demonic activities going on in the realms right now. But who have eyes to see will see. But I'm just saying, as the days go by, please be mindful and be very, very cautious of the things you see and hear. Weigh out all matters because, as I'm saying, which report are you going to believe? There are a lot of sinister things that are going to come into being within the next 2 years, mainly the change concerning the mark of the beast, which is spoken about in Revelation. It is going to come, and we are arriving there quickly because time is just speeding up, and we don't even have time to catch up to know what is going on, but what is forward and coming. Let us be prepared. Let us be prepared knowing that this year our eyes are open, nothing is really hidden, things are being exposed. And with things being exposed, a lot of people are being confused because people are feeling different within their whole psyche. And it's very confusing. And I'm hearing a lot of people reaching out. A lot of people is asking me if they should change their diet. They don't feel well. And it's a case where it's not necessarily your diet per se, but in your carnal being, but it's your spiritual being that is being affected. I am just answering these questions with one line. Pay attention to your spiritual life. I've spoken to about almost 12 of my spiritual children, and I have a whole bunch. I'm like the old lady who live in the shoe. And they are telling me just one thing. It's like, Mama, we don't feel so right. I said, I know what is happening. But what is happening for my darling audience out there and who's sitting in the studio? When this change has occurred, our spiritual being has been affected. When we speak of being awoke, if you are awoke, which is a good thing, but you are not fed, it's a bad thing. Because let's picture a baby, because we are babes. Some of us are more grown than others. Some of us are, baby Christians, I would say, or baby spiritual people, babes. We have those mature ones and we have the seasoned ones and we have the veterans. But, the veterans, we class them differently. But the baby ones, let's just say a baby. When a baby wake up, what's the first thing it does? It cries. Why it cries? It's hungry. So what you have to do, feed the baby. So here we are with our spiritual babes. And we are talking age. We have some spiritual babes who are 60 years old and 70 years old. But they are babes. So we are applying the same technique as we continue, with spiritual awareness. We like to drop it by on this because we teach on this side, we give information, but it's also an awareness which is applicable to your life, your very being, your sustenance. You're woke now. Yeah, somebody wake you up, they tap you on the shoulder, and why you got jolted out. You're like, oh, I'm here. Okay, welcome. But now you're hungry. That's why you're crying. You're feeling the pangs of hunger. But this pain and this hunger could only be filled with spiritual things because a void is there. And you cannot expect to fill this void in one gulp. So therefore, you're starting to apply nutrition. Chant a psalms a day, we used to say back in the day. And we need to feed the spirit. How do we start? Quiet moments, meditation. Quiet moments. Start with some psalms. Start with simple conversation. Take a walk by the water. Go spend some time in the woods. Go hug a tree. In a certain tradition, it's called making a wudu. Go hug a tree. Ease off some negative vibration. Go feed the poor. Do something good. When you do something good, what happens? Your heart is then feeling good. So, as you say, your heart is inditing a good matter. So, therefore, for your spiritual being and to be fed, these are some of the nutrients you would need. I just gave you all some of the ingredients. Wake up in the morning, spend some time in quiet meditation, 10, 15 minutes. Talk to the Almighty God. Call him whatever you want, but know he's above all. Talk to him. Have a conversation. When you have time, 2, 3, gather yourselves together. Let your conversation be uprightness. Let your conversation be pleasing unto the ears of the Almighty. Fill yourself with good things. These are some of the things you do and the ingredients for your spiritual well-being. Because man heart will faint for what is coming upon the earth when they see it. A lot of people are gazing into the sky right now and things are just dropping out left, right, and centers. We're talking about aliens taking. Well, they better don't take me tonight because I think they're in Florida because there was a sighting. They're all in Florida, all over the streets, and they're just all over the place. You're starting to wonder, what's going on? Do they live here? And oh yeah, they do. But they're showing up. It's real. There's no way you cannot acknowledge the fact that there are things flying in the sky more regularly than they used to. It is so regular and so popular. People now are just saying, did you see that? Say, oh, we saw it. And you know how people can like to phase things out. And we trying somehow to bring it into some sort of normality, which is not. It's a strange happening. But somebody very soon will have to introduce this strange happening to the collective. Simply because too much sightings are there, too much questions are there, and you can no longer hide Area 51 and the activities anymore. A lot of different pilots, which will be older men, are bringing videos and telling you of strange things they have seen that they were not allowed to speak about, and now they're speaking because I guess some things you really can't take to your grave. So people are speaking out, letting you know of these various strange activities. So, I did mention this to see that the time that we're in, and I'm saying when we see these things, we know it's a sign. Because the disciples had asked Christ, when would it be that we'll know of the coming of the Lord? But I want to say, please look up in the sky every so often because there's a lot of activities going on in the sky and it cannot be hidden anymore. And it's just there without explanation, but we know something is going on. And whatever is going on is affecting a lot of people in their psyche. A lot of people is telling you their thought form is even different. I mean, frighteningly different. Some people are telling you where they're getting feelings to do strange things, things I've never felt about doing before. Some tragic situations could occur. So I'm hearing this coming from people because they're feeling so much pressure in their mind. And when you're not talking to God and you're not dealing on a spiritual level, the Almighty, strange voices could enter into your head and bring you certain thoughts because Satan could enter your mind. Satan is not all knowing, but he could enter your mind once you have weaknesses of state because you're having people telling you now they're feeling and hearing strange vibrations that are making them feel suicidal. And I'm talking people out of certain things, so, just certain vibrations. Now we have to tell them, be strong. It will pass away. And certain prayer that you got to say and, kind of ground yourself within a vibration of spirituality and peacefulness to try to ward that feeling away. So we know within spiritual awareness, everything happens in the spirit. So all these very strange feelings that people are having is because they're under spiritual attacks. Now, when you are baby Christian or baby spiritual person, you will not know what to do. You have to now run for your mommy. So, but when your mommy is under some spiritual attack, who mommy is going to run to? Just the Almighty. So we're seeing now people are telling you, and it's real, that certain things are happening. And I can say it's real, it's very real because it has happened to me and it's happening. And I'm not ashamed to let you know in God's army, they be trying to bruise and battle and all kind of sword fight. And I'm there. I'm telling you, I'm frontline soldier, drummer two sword already. So I'm not afraid for battle. But anytime I have to bring something within some truths or something to reflect in the spiritual grounds, I'm often fought. The start of the show was so rocky. I wanted to say something. I'm telling you, the book is here, but I don't think I want to say that anymore. Really, when I see how the show started. So I might have to give you a little cryptic code next week, get your books out because I might have to run this one page in about four different versions just to put the pieces together and you'll connect the dots. Because I'm saying to you, spiritual attacks are real. This I am going to speak about simply because it just slipped. I'm speaking about it. It happens. I am just telling you, one, two, three, I'm under attack. I am running for cover, I'm telling you. So I have to run under the umbrella, I have to run under the shadows of the Almighty. Because I'm telling you, anytime you decide to walk within the precepts of the Almighty and you're climbing spiritually, babes, please be warned, there's something called spiritual attack. It doesn't stop. I'm telling you, and the higher you climb, the harder it is because they don't send the baby demons after me. They send the big real ones. I'm just telling you all right now, for all those who are listening, spiritual attacks are real. It comes in subtle ways. The people who, could only deal with subtle things. But let's just say, for instance, small conversation here. The Pope was screaming out of his life. He said, my God, get those bastards off of me. He saw the demons. So he was telling you they are real. They are real. And God's children could often attest to these things because they have often themselves gone under spiritual attacks, major spiritual attacks for some people. So we just slip into the spiritual attack conversations. I don't know if my one away, Peter Shiloh, on away on the spiritual attacks and give us a little bit about what you know and to teach our young children who are listening with us what you can tell them about.
Yes, spiritual attack is a very serious attack. When attack,
I think you're getting one right now because you're
we
trying to come
are.
up. Charlie, you see,
Oh, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you now. So
Yeah,
bring it.
yeah, hear
They
me?
want they want to take you away, but we hope to keep you.
Yes. I will repeat myself. Spiritual attack is very real, 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 real. In your sleep, out your sleep, it's real. All right, for instance, a spiritual attack is, for instance, they say, you ever feel like you want to commit suicide? It's a demon that's come to you. It's a suicide demon. That's a spiritual attack. You have to be, that's why we have to be sober. Don't drunk with the devil and his wine and his devil culture. You understand? When this type of demon comes on you,
I'll be
he
right back.
says to you, yes, you feel like you want to kill yourself? Do you feel like you want to do something bad? That's spiritual attack. You don't see the physical part, but guess what happened? You're faced with that temptation. Where does that temptation come from? Where does the spirit travel? All these things you have to ask yourself. The spirit travel is the wind that you breathe. That's how serious spiritual attack is. These demons, they travel on the wind. And whenever you get these thoughts, where these thoughts come from? The wind. These demons travel on the wind and give people a spiritual attack. And you might wonder and say, but I'm not seeing any flesh. But I've been tempted. This temptation is facing me. You understand? And yet I'm not seeing a physical person. So these are spiritual attacks that the hostess Empress Sadi talks about. They are real, real, and all age. You understand? You don't specialize, right? So when you come under these attacks, you're not mad, you're not insane. It's demons. Let me tell you, demons. They attack you. You don't see them, but they attack you spiritually. Spiritually, spirit. They trouble. They manipulate the wind. They listen to you, and whatever good plan you have, they try to downplay it. That's how spiritual attack comes. You understand? Whenever there is a thought in you which is not right, that's a spiritual attack. Because the Almighty says, let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in His sight. So whenever we're gonna reason on things that is acceptable in the Almighty sight. You understand? So be on your guard. Spiritual fight and spiritual temptation and spiritual awareness is necessary in these times. You ain't gonna look for no spirit to come out of nowhere to come under that. They are on the waves. The wave that you breathe. They come, you understand me? What we breathe is life. So they travel and they enter you through the wind and they give you this temptation. Do you want to kill yourself? Do you feel like you want to hurt someone? Or do you want to do that? That's these demons. Rebuke them. Understand? Resist them. Yes, they came in many forms. Several times dreams. Dream about women I don't know these women and these women want to have sex with me. That's another spiritual attack. You understand? And these demons, they know, they sees and they knows when you are alone. They know when you are lonely. and they know when you're on it, and they know everything about you. So I mean, at the right time to come upon you. You understand? Just like the Almighty did to Adam, salvation of your woman, that's no man take her away. Keep her observed because you know the devil full of all kind of tricks and con. And sometimes a woman get deceived, not because she want to be deceived, but she's been conned. You understand? Yes. The devil is a big con artist. So you gotta look out for that. He will con you out of your soul, and your soul is your only goal. So protect your soul by do what the Almighty told. Yes, Empress, bless.
We
Much
bless
love,
you. We thank
one
you so
night,
much for
you know.
us and spiritual
Yes,
activity. As you know, I would consider you not to be a baby Christian. You are well seasoned, so you can give us, that kind of, what should I say, a
yes,
true
yes.
thing of what was going on, and to know
The
that, and like
experience.
when those thoughts come into your head, those is where the spirit of the wind comes to you, and Satan himself, he loves it. So we are seeing how things travel because it's not of our own. Because this is why within music, as I speak to you as a musician, the vibration of the song so important. The song and the vibration and your word. Because you now you bring people to you. And if you're poisoning their mind with something not wholesome, you will not pray them and cause them to do something that is not wholesome. So even, speak of the wind, because music and the vibration travels, moves on,
Yes.
and it's on to you. So as I said to you, even chantment of psalms and divine reasonings shall tear
Reasoning.
down
I find. Look here now, look here now. They would say spiritual, but through Rastafari's eye, we say I vine to show them
divine.
that Rastafari is above all Babylon. You
Yeah, no, I
understand? Because the
understand.
Almighty says reasoning.
Really and truly, the spirituality is there for us to protect us, to form a wall of defense
Yes.
against things that are there,
Yes,
because
yes, yes.
there'll always be negative and wicked things happening, and we have to be able to fence ourselves. And prayer allows that fence. Spiritual connection with the Almighty allows that fence that we know we are safe for the moment. As you say, you cease to pray, you cease to fight. Because that prayer, that shield, that spiritual awareness that say that we're entering certain places and we will tell ourselves, I don't feel right. It's because our spiritual senses are telling us, get out of here. You feel a little tingly, you feel like you have cobwebs all over you, you're uneasy. That is also too when you're coming spiritually aware. You have these little senses that kind of knock at you, makes you feel a little discomfort when you're in a place that you should not be at that period. So we speak of spiritual awareness, but we also want um our listening audience and our lovely studio audience to know, start paying attention to yourself and start being more sensitive to the things that we think are small things or trivial. Because in learning about your spiritual self and your development, you have to start paying attention to small things. A leaf might fall, we see where it lands. For example, so we watch the streams, watch how the wind blow, we watch the sounds, the birds, and we start to relax our mind because we are trying to gain a connection within the spiritual field. Because it's only when you are spiritually connected, you are comforted. There's no other way upon this earth to be comforted. Money is a defense. It cannot comfort you.
Mm-hmm.
You have love, you have woman, you have man, you have house, you have car. These things, defense. House, protect you from the weather. You have a husband, it's good. You have a wife, it's good. You have money, it's right. But in your spiritual field, and when we think of spiritual things, it's a whole different ball game because it's a comfort you're looking for that cometh only through one, the Almighty, who sits on his throne. Because this is not fake. This cannot be rigged. We have our Kendrick say game rig, but this is no game. This is actually your life. And each and every one of us one day have to come before the throne of grace to answer for everything that we have done upon this earth, whether it was good or whether it was evil. So pay attention to your spiritual being. So therefore, when that day come, you can stand knowing that you can deliver to the Almighty what you have done. And He can say, go ahead, my beloved. You can now enter into my rest. So great will be those days when such words are there to comfort you. So, my beloved, be aware of your walk within this here time. Be aware of your actions, your words, your deeds. We have entered into a different playing field, and you must be aware of certain things that must be done differently. So my engineer is quite quiet this evening, Charlie. Much people didn't come into the studio, but we have our important guests. Big up to you. You're always here with us. Please, Vice, we thank you so very much. Great respect, soul there. And you've been doing great works. As I said, you're making the musical unit very, very proud. We are happy with you. We know you're taking us places. You are going to put the Ethiopian World Federation incorporate on the map. You're going to big up Local 26. You're going to big up your president. You're going to bring up your international president. Well, he's director in Local 26, but you're going to make us proud. So we just want to salute you. We want to continue to pray for you that the Almighty send His angels to shield you because you're entering into a very, very competitive playing field. There's no way that you're not going to make it because you are number one in your playing field, in your department. Because I'm telling you, I have no one out there yet. We're going live. It is 1 million people listening. And I'm telling you, because this is just what it is. You light a fire and it's burning. Everybody have their time. Everybody have their occasion. Your time has arrived. So may the Almighty continue to bless you, Shiloh. May you continue to stay humble within your heart because we know you have a heart to love. And may you rise to all occasions and be a star that God has made you to be. So accept this blessing that I bring from you, from my heart to God's ears and to you, that you would make us proud. And, take it. All right, so it's about time we, the Black people of the world, make a name for ourselves as well. So we have the musical unit. We have other locals that are doing great works as well. So we invite them also on. But next week, I'm going to have the ladies coming on because I want to do, you know, a program with the ladies about health, nutrition. And one lady is going to talk to the ladies about how to take care of that little girl down there. So you know what kind of talk is that. So we're going to have that kind of talk where women are going to learn from other women how to take care of themselves and you will be smelling like a rose. So she promised she's gonna do that. So we're looking forward to next week's show as well. But this week, we talk about what happened with the Pope. We just kind of skim it through. But we have to pay attention to what's going on because something is going to pop up in another 2 years from now. But as I said, the Pope will be buried and he will be dug up in 3 days to be placed in the catacombs. The last time someone died and in 3 days he came out, it was the Christ. So I know Satan is not all knowing. He's a mimic and he mimics things. I'm watching very carefully the rising up in 3 days and the whole ceremony they did. So I know, as I said, those who were dead and buried normally stay there for a very long time. But let us watch and see what's going on. As I said, who who shall believe the report? But we are here, we're paying attention, we're on point with things, and do your research. You don't have to listen to everything Sadie says, do your research because there was a case where about a few years ago, maybe about 20 years, the Pope school, one Pope had requested when he died to be buried in Poland with his family, and he was told no. So now, how come they buried this Pope and now they're going to take him out of the earth after 3 days? Then what was the point in burying him if they're going to take him out after 3 days? What's that all about? Don't give us no story here. We in 2025. We the black people of the world. We want to know everything. Well, ain't going to hide nothing anymore. But really and truly, those are some of the things we take from under the rug, we examine it, and we put it back. Because quite frankly, at the end of the day, they all have to answer to the Almighty, and He will blaze a fire. And judgment is mine, said the Lord, I will repay. So for whatever they have done wrong, we have to still be careful of the road we walk, and every day we have to know step by step, precept by precept as we go along, because it's quite a difficult journey. So for those men of the cloth and bishops and popes and who have the big names, they have to answer, because there's a special place in hell for priests, because in certain of the scriptures you'll tell in the book of Enoch that he asked, which place is that down there, when he heard so much people crying? He said, oh, those were for the wicked priests that have taken advantage of God's word and taken advantage of people. So there's a special hell reserved for certain spiritual people who decide to take God's word and make it a joke. The Almighty, there's no folly. I am a defender of the faith. I mean, I watch and see what go on. I give reports to my father, I'm telling you. So I watch certain things and I see some things don't sit so right or so well. Plus this 88-year-old man that they put a lie in the casket, he looks like he's about 25 because the body was so strong. I don't know if they give him the injection, he became sick because of such a feeble, weak body. It looked like a young person going in there. But you know how my cronies, they don't let nothing pass them. They're up on everything. So they are speaking about that, but we're paying attention. We're looking on. We're just checking out things because things are different now. Very, very different. And we are paying attention. So this evening, we seem to have families in the house. We thank you, of course, Shiloh. I give you my love, my blessing. And Ronnie, my big brother, always a pleasure to have you, Ronnie. I think you drop off a little while, but Ronnie, when you come down from the mountains, we have to go to lunch in the roti shop on Church Avenue. So we have a date once a month, we do those reports. So we thank Ronnie for coming on, and of course my engineer Charlie. Charlie's like the best, Charlie do have a show on Fridays as well, that it's raw and unfiltered. He doesn't let us into his show. He just wants us to listen, because one day I tried to get into the show, but my phone was pooping out. So I said, Charlie, I don't want to mess up your show. But Charlie's show is one where, anything goes. You can say what you want over there. He and Dr. Robinson be carrying on. Charlie, I am telling you, Dr. Robinson is your best sparring partner, because, he is loose lips, fancy hips. He going all over the place. So here we are, we winding down for the evening. I was thinking more people come on, but we are always happy to have who is here. Charlie, what our time is looking like that we can do some shorts? Because, we can check out anytime we like. Charlie, are you there? Well, Charlie, just leave.
I just here. We got about 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes to qualify for shorts.
Because I was saying, we could check out anytime we like, but we can never leave. Charlie, since I'm hanging out with these musicians, I think I learned to sing. Da, 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 da. So we have like 4 minutes. We're moving on. We have covered all the grounds for the evening. We spoke even of the tariff. We speak of the fact that, there's a FO, which is some big words, but you'll find out if you F wrong, you'll find out. And we see that we mentioned that the tariff that was made for China, that Mr. Trump made, became quite detrimental in terms of how some airlines are now pulling out. So here we are for our Sunday evening, and we are surely winding down. So Charlie, give us a little bit of music.
And just in now, Pope Francis has spent all night screaming at demons who are trying to drag him to hell. The Vatican has confirmed. 88-year-old Francis remains in hospital battling kidney failure, brought on by double pneumonia. But this battle pales in comparison, posed by the beclawed, soul-eating demons from hell. A spokes-cardinal confirmed that the pontiff had to be sedated last night after screaming, "Get these evil bastards off of me," as a portal to hell opened up at the end of his hospital bed, sparking fears the end is near for the leader of the Catholic Church. And just now, Pope Francis has spent all night